Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. I wanted to talk about 5 essential oils that are going to be an amazing support for labor and birthing. So as I'm kind of preparing for either like a home birth or kind of figuring things out, what I'm going to be either taking with me, depending on if you're giving birth at a birth center or hospital, kind of see what the rules and regulations are when it comes to what you can kind of take in terms of like essential oils or what other support systems that you can kind of take in with you. So I'm going to go through the top 5 that I highly recommend, and we'll start with those. So the first one that I have is going to be your lavender essential oil. So this is one that will be great as a relaxing support. So throughout supporting with some of the pain management that you're going to be having in birthing, where you're going to be going through your contractions, you're going to be wanting something to be breathing in and just kind of soothing and calming the mind, as well as being able to focus on your breath. So this is great where you can just open up the bottle, either just hold it under your nose directly and use it that way, or what I always recommend is just bringing like 10 or like 15 or so of these little napkins that you might have. You can easily put the essential oil on, so you can just add like a bunch of drops onto the napkin and then be able to smell it, and that way it's only for you to be breathing in that aroma, as well as if you want your partner or someone else to be breathing in the same aroma, they can share it as well. But that's kind of where you don't always want to be diffusing something in the whole room, because you want to be able to easily switch it out depending on how you're feeling, what you're feeling, and what stage you might be at as well. So that's kind of where lavender is a great one to be just adding a couple of drops onto a napkin, breathing it in and putting it that way. You can also do it as like a compress. So lavender is great, again, throughout your whole labor to be breathing in and using. You can have like your partner massaging it into your shoulders if you'd like, mixing it with a carrier oil to just kind of dilute it a little bit further. Or another great way to do it is after you have delivered, for placental removal, for placenta removal, this is a great one that can be used during your tummy massage. So depending on your midwife or your doula or your doctor, they will most likely be massaging your stomach afterwards to kind of help with the placenta removal. This is one that is great for that as well too. So that can be diluted with a carrier oil and just kind of help get everything out and cleaned out beautifully. So the next one that I recommend is peppermint oil. So peppermint is a great one as an energizer. So as you may be getting towards the later stages of labor, you may be feeling a little bit exhausted, you might be feeling tired, depending on how long you may have been laboring for. This is a great one as like an energizer. And this is one where you can use this because even, for example, your partner, depending on how long your partner may have been there in the room, they may also be tired. So this is a great one for everyone to be using as like that energizer, and it's also a great cleanser. So just kind of using it and either putting it in like a vomit bucket if you have a vomit bucket. Peppermint and wild orange are great cleansers for you to be using, and just kind of dropping into a bucket to just freshen things up and to kind of take away any of those bad smells that might be there. As well as it's great as like a stress relief. So for example, what I recommend for using this is you can use it at any time that you feel necessary. So allow your body and your mind to tell you maybe which oils you may be drawn to at different stages. But otherwise, what I recommend is during transition, you can massage a drop of peppermint with a carrier oil onto the back of your neck. So just like at the base of your neck, you can ask your partner to massage it on, or you can massage it on yourself. And that's great for just kind of cooling, relaxing. If you haven't used the peppermint oil, it is extremely strong, where a drop goes a long way. So that's where it is a beautiful oil, but it is so nice and just kind of like calming and relieving is what I would consider it as. So that's kind of where peppermint would be my second most recommended essential oil throughout your labor. Then the next one is the wild orange. So this is a great one for mood lifting. So depending on, again, how you're feeling throughout labor and how you're kind of just feeling overall. This is a great one that can be used to just kind of boost the mood, to support the energy as well. So similar to peppermint, depending on what aromas you like, I have a personal tendency towards citruses. So like lemons, wild orange, bergamot, all of those oils. Like I love all of those. Those are probably my favorites. So this is probably one that I would do as like a go-to. And as you can see, my kids have peeled the sticker off the bottle, as well as wild orange is one of their favorites. But just kind of opening up the bottle and breathing it in again, or again, the napkins. And then again with wild orange, if you are having like a vomit bucket or a drop bucket or something that's like there, you can just add it into the bucket. That way, because nausea is also a common symptom throughout labor where you might be vomiting, depending on how you're feeling. So this is where you can always add a couple drops of the wild orange. You can blend it with the peppermint. So you can do 2 drops of peppermint, 2 drops of wild orange. Just hold that there and breathe that in. And whenever you're ready to swap it out with something else as well too. So those are the top 3. The next 2 are ones that are used as regularly as well. So we're going to talk about clary sage as well as lemon essential oil. So lemon's one of my favorites too. So for clary sage, that's where it is a great labor support. So it'll help with reducing tension. It can help with progressing labor. So these are oils like for clary sage. I typically wouldn't recommend using it throughout your pregnancy. It's when you're in active labor and you're going through labor, or when you're wanting to promote labor. This is where it can help with progressing it. So what you can do is you can massage it onto your back. So what I typically like to do for moms, what I recommend is doing like a hot compress. So adding like maybe a little bit of bath salt or like a glycerin or something that's like an emulsifier into some hot water, adding in a couple drops of the clary sage, and then just kind of wringing in the towel. Otherwise, what you can also do is dilute it, massage it across the lower back, and then just kind of get like a hot towel with like warm water and just kind of let that sit and soothe across the lower back. And it is so beautiful. So that's where it's like, even for example, if you are having period cramps and you're not pregnant, aside from pregnancy, this is where using like some of these hot compresses and stuff, if you haven't used them, instead of doing like a hot water bottle or something, like having that compress with the oils touching your skin and using that in such a soothing manner, that's a great way to do and to be able to relieve and support some of the pain management from that aspect. The other option that you can also do is by adding a couple drops and putting it into a foot bath. So again, remembering to either use like salts or an emulsifier, either cream, glycerin, different emulsifiers that are there that you can basically use to support you that way, and then just kind of soaking your feet in it and allowing the oils to be absorbed that way. If you are using a tub for water birthing, I recommend never using essential oils in the same tub that you will be giving birth in, or the water will have to be emptied out and changed, because you don't want any of these oils to be in contact with your baby as soon as the baby comes out. So that's kind of where, because of the sensitive skin, as well as you don't know what reaction the baby may be having in terms of other things that'll be added into the bath, whether it's like the bath salts, the emulsifiers, or anything else. So that's where, if you're giving birth in a birth tub, always just keep it as water. You can always apply the oil directly to the mama's skin and then have the mother sit into the tub. But that's like the main thing, is because when the baby comes out, you have no idea if it's going to be going in their eyes or their mouth. So that's where, even as adults, essential oils should never be put in your eyes or around your lips area, depending on the sensitivity of certain oils. Whereas certain oils, with doTERRA, they can be ingested, as well as they can be used for like lip balm. Like I use frankincense, the frankincense rollers for like lip balm and stuff, and those are beautiful. But when it comes to like little babies and stuff, they're very sensitive. So always avoid that. And then, so that's kind of where for clary sage, again, between contractions, to be using it, to be helping with promoting the labor progression as well. That's a great support. And then lastly, my other favorite essential oil is lemon. I don't have that here with me, but this is basically, so with the lemon, what you can do is you would use it to help kind of cleanse again. So similar to how the wild orange was for mood lifting, the lemon would be there for cleansing. So any unpleasant aromas that might be there, this is where it helps kind of cancel those out. So again, if you have a vomit bucket, or even after you've given birth, if you have pooped in your tub, if you have pooped throughout your birth and stuff, these are all normal things. Do not feel bad about any of these things, but this is where you can use some of those essential oils where lemon can kind of help cleanse the air and be used as like a cleansing tool. So this is where you can use it to add a couple drops into a napkin, again, breathing it in for energizing as well as cleansing, and then also adding a couple drops into like that vomit bucket or into any of the buckets that you might have to just kind of help remove any of the other aromas and odors that may be in the room and stuff. So I hope this was helpful for you. And if any of you are wanting access to any of these 5 essential oils, the lemon, peppermint, and lavender are sold as a trio, so they're amazing. And you can then just add on like the clary sage and the wild orange for your birth support. And what I also like to do is, so I like to have roller bottles where I'll either like prepare them beforehand. So if I'm going to be looking for a specific blend or a mix of some of the oils, I'll put it as like a roller bottle, or I'll use like their sensitive carrier blend, which comes as like a nice 30 ml dropper bottle. I will add in like the oils that I need, maybe peel off this label and create my own label on top of it, and basically just write what each oil is for. And that way it's diluted, it's ready for you, and it's there for you to be able to have easy access to. So I hope you enjoy that. Go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, and we will see you next time. Bye.